Thank you. Sorry for the late start. I guess a lot of you were wondering what happened. Just had a few technical issues. You know how it is with technology. I'm Kevin Branch, and I would like to welcome you to the best online show you've probably never heard about. Best online football show, that is, you've never heard about. Well, you heard about us now. It's a Shins and Boots football show, and we're live on the Sports BB platform as well as being on the Shins and Boots football channel. We can be found on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You can email the show at shinzaboots at gmail.com. And you could go, of course, go on the YouTube chat on the screen if you so desire. Give us your thoughts about, the show. What do you like about it? If you have any football, we could talk about stuff like that. This week, well, I should say, it's your show. For fans, by fans, which is you. Dr. Vicky yesterday is our special guest, and she introduced a health feature called 2 Minutes with Dr. Vicky. And of course, the month that was in that beautiful game was called football. So joining me right now is my esteemed co-host, Mr. Carlos Baptiste. Carlos, how are you doing, sir? Yeah, and he has that little quizzical look on your face.
I'm doing good,
You got,
Kevin. Hello, football fans.
yeah, you don't look too happy at all, innit? I wonder what happened.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Pardon? You don't look too happy, son. What happened? You had a little
I didn't
setback
hear
of
what you
the
said just now. Can you repeat?
No, I said you had a little setback of sorts
It's
over
been
the
a rough week.
weekend. It's been a rough week, right? Of
Yeah, it's
course,
been
the
a rough
Ballon d'Or.
week, football wise. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, as I was saying, we had a lot of going on in the world of football. The Ballon d'Or took place. Rodri won the award. Real Madrid's players boycotted the ceremony, claiming disrespect. The Champions League, of course, was recent. Man City losing to Sporting Lisbon. Arsenal losing to Inter Milan. Aston Villa losing their first game. And Liverpool winning again. And speaking of Manchester City losing, I guess we can start talking about Ruben Amorim going to Manchester United. The big hype is about him in Portugal, how good he is. He's 39 years old. He's a young, quote unquote, upcoming coach. Do you think this period with Amorim going to Manchester United, do you really think that is a turnaround period for them? Okay, you didn't hear me. No, I was asking you, right? Ruben Amorim
No.
is going to Manchester United, right? No, Sporting beat Manchester City 4 goals to 1. Do you think him going to United is going to turn around that little dip in form they have?
It might slightly a new voice in the locker room always gives some type of inspiration. But whether he has the resources and the talent to do it, that's a completely different kettle of fish. He might have the inspiration, he might have the system, but does he have the players for the system? They're gonna have to give him a little time to do what he needs to do. Remember, he's going there with players he didn't select, players he didn't choose. He's going there with all his people that all the players Ten Hag brought in, and even some people that Marino had brought in. So he's almost from scratch, but he's coming there basically mid-season, so it's gonna be a rough turn for him. Um, but he's young, he's energetic, he has different ideas, probably good ideas, but he needs to learn the Premier League quickly, and he needs to understand the Premier League is not Portugal.
Because I remember I always was saying that in Portugal, there are like four teams you hear about: Porto, Benfica, Sporting. That was only three. I can't remember who the fourth one is. And the Premier League is not forgiving because
Braga, I think, most likely Braga.
Braga, right? That's the other one. They're playing the Europa. I think they're in the Europa League this year. But the Premier League is very unforgiving
Both.
because okay, he will play Aston Villa, he will play Arsenal, he will play Chelsea. But what happens when he plays a team like West Ham, Bournemouth, Southampton? The guys that are like in the lower half of the table, especially when it comes down to relegation time.
Yeah.
And when relegation comes around, you know
Mm.
how that is. Everybody's scratching and fighting.
Yeah, they don't Premier League anybody, no matter who you are.
Yeah, because
So
see Bournemouth fan, no
once you
that
play league, you can
Bournemouth
play
fan.
the let them for you. It's not like
Yeah. Okay. Now, of course, we heard that the Champions League, it wasn't too kind to the English teams. The only one that really got out of it was Liverpool. Liverpool won. Um, Sporting Lisbon, of course, we just spoke about that. They beat City. Arsenal losing into Milan. Aston Villa losing their first game, and of course, Liverpool winning again. Now let's talk about your team, Arsenal. Bournemouth, Arsenal beat them. Newcastle beat them. Bournemouth beat them. So what happened? Is it what happened, man? What happened? Is it glitch? What is Arteta's doing wrong? You miss? Is it Mr. Odegaard? What is it?
yeah, we're missing Odegaard, but that's not really the excuse. The excuse is we didn't spend any money in the summertime to have the depth to have to win the Premier League against Manchester City to deal with Liverpool, especially when you get every team got players in injuries. Yeah, they were going through a little struggle too, but the difference is that they can bring some quality off the bench. We don't have any quality to come off the bench, and
Mhm.
we don't have anything in the midfield because Odegaard's play in the midfield is what linked the front and the back together at all times. He gone, there's no replacement for him, and there's no system to replace it. Absence. So we are struggling to score goals. Like I said before, previous show, if we'd gone out in the summer and bought a killer, everybody know what that means. I bought a killer, it would mitigate his absence. Because once you got a killer up front, that will make up for a lot of deficiencies you have probably in your midfield. You got to in certain areas or spaces, and you guarantee chances that you're gonna finish things. We are lacking that. Havertz is not that guy. And the last couple of games, Arteta was playing a 4-4-2. I don't know why. So you play a 4-4-2, you have basically your best bench player starting, and there's nothing coming off the bench. So we have challenges, and of course the defense is not as playing as well as it used to. And a lot of Arsenal fans are complaining that they're not playing the fluid kind of football we played last year and the year before. We're playing more. We seem to be a bit more defensive. I don't know why the coach decided to go to seem a bit more defensive than we were last year before. I don't think we've scored 2 goals in the last 3 games, right? And last year, averaging about maybe 3 goals a game. So we're struggling in that regard. Odegaard should be back this weekend for Chelsea. So let me see what happens because we have to win that game. Because everybody's gonna play. Everybody in front of us is gonna play. Is gonna play before we play. So by the time the games come around, we'll be 10 behind Liverpool and 7 behind City. So we have to win that game on Sunday. So if we get Odegaard back and he can give us a good 45, the good first 45, and we can do something positive, we can get back on track. But this game is a must win, not even a draw. It's a must win. For me, we don't win this game, we're fighting for second and third. Simple.
Hmm. I would say this, right? It's still early in the season because the Premiership is not a 100-meter sprint; it's a marathon. And even if Arsenal do win this game, who's to say that they could pick up injuries along the way? Because I'm being realistic. Each team right now in that top half of the table, the Arsenals, the Liverpools, the Manchester Cities, you have a bunch of competitions to play. Arsenal's playing Champions League, then the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, FA Cup coming around, right? And still you're playing the Premiership. The thing really turns November, December, the early December, late December, because you have games coming fast and furious. You're gonna have like 2 and 3 games in a week and all that, and then you're still
December
playing the
timing.
FA Cup, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things you gotta look at, and then the thing of the Champions League too. You traveling to all gonna place like um the shot card done. You gotta get to Ukraine to play for a ball, right? And then you gotta come back the weekend. It's gonna take a toll on the players. My thing is though, from my
And it,
side being a Chelsea
mm,
fan, right? I wasn't, to be honest, I am not expecting too much from them, and this is not a cop out or anything. They're very inconsistent. One day they will turn up to play, next day they wouldn't turn up, next day they can draw. So they're very unpredictable. But they're one of these teams that if they have to turn up on the day they did, because Manchester United fans celebrating the draw, but they needed the win badly because they're 15th. Well, no, they're 14th now. They're
yes,
13th now, right? They were celebrating
mm,
as if they had achieved something. But you didn't achieve anything. You had to win that game. Chelsea, on the other hand, yes, they needed to win it, but they haven't won at Old Trafford in what 13 years. So going to draw at Old Trafford in this thing is a good thing. You take a point, snatch it. Arsenal at Stamford Bridge, and
yeah,
that's tricky
true.
because I think last season, I think that game draw, didn't it? Yeah, draw last year at Stamford Bridge. And then you guys smash
Yeah,
Chelsea
the
at
bridge, yeah.
beat them 5-6, right? But with
Mm,
Pochettino's not that coach to push you hard. Where's this guy now? He knows. People talk about the bloated squad he has, but I think he's doing a pretty good job of what he has. To be honest, because when you're going in deep in the competition, you need that because you got a situation now. Cole Palmer may not play Sunday. Who's one of your better? But you could put Joe Felix in our spot. You could put the three other four other guys you could put in our spot. So I wouldn't say excuse me. I
yeah,
wouldn't say Chelsea is lacking really. I wouldn't say they're lacking. I wouldn't say they're lacking, but what they lack to me is leadership. Because you got a bunch of 23 and 24-year-old guys running around on the field.
mm,
Who's their leader? You get in a
true.
situation, you got to think about what you gonna do. You don't have that Thiago Silva there anymore. You don't have a John Terry there anymore. You don't have a Frank
Mm,
Lampard there anymore. So everybody's looking at one another, and the most experienced player you have, 90% of the time he's not even fit. That was Reece James. He's the club captain. So what are you gonna do? But they said there's a
yeah, that is
growing
true.
process.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't expect much from them. If they draw, yes, is a good result. If they get beaten, that's expected because right now Arsenal are, when you look at it or not, right? Arsenal are title contenders. They are. They came second twice. They may get third time lucky. Who knows? And City, to me, people talk about City losing form, but you don't write off City. You don't write off City
you
because
can't.
City City will come and win 2 or 3 games on a trot. Then when you look around, 12 or 13 game winning streak. The only other team that could probably do that is Liverpool. Let's talk
Yeah,
about Liverpool a bit, right? What Arne Slot is doing at Liverpool, right? And he's going quietly about his business. That's the scary part. He's just going about his business. They're getting the job done, and he isn't really
mm,
like saying, "Well, I'm going to win the title." But he's just saying, "Well, we're taking a game at a time," and they're performing. And I think if I look at the stats right now, I think they're the only unbeaten team in Europe right now in the top four teams. Yeah, they're unbeaten. You remember last time Liverpool lost against it, Nottingham Forest? No,
yeah,
they won
not,
every
not, not, not to beat them.
right. They won every
Yeah,
game, and that
they lost to Nottingham Forest, and then they didn't lose after that. But for me, this is the thing. Liverpool, Slot has the same team that
club has.
thing left him. Yeah. That
Hmm.
club that club left. Club left the same team. They didn't really bring anybody in for the summer. He's just doing it a little bit differently than club. Less rock and roll football, less chaos, a bit more subtle and a bit more order to what they do. The thing about that is that as the season progresses, we're gonna see if that actually does work. I'm gonna meet some kind of attrition and some kind of challenge. Let's see exactly how they meet it. For me, they played against me, and really and truly, I told people if Arsenal had a full gambit of players, I would have beat them comfortably. If Bodegaard was playing and I had my full team, they would have been beaten comfortably. Yes, I actually watched that game. We would have beaten them comfortably. They had a goal a call off because of the it's early, but that's fine. But we'd have beaten them
Mm.
comfortably. So they played us, which is one of the top contenders at our home, and they came away with a draw. And that goal that Salah scored was when I had to sub off one of my main defenders. I saw on a rookie. You understand? And then put on well, and not my first. As soon as that happened, scored, and the game changed a bit there. But they didn't play well enough to actually beat me. To beat Arsenal, they played well enough to pull out the draw. So as I'm saying, when they do have to go away to some of the better playing teams at home, we're going to see actually how well they do. They still have to play City twice, right? And they still have to play City twice. They still have to I have to still have to go at them. So they have some challenges to come. And as they go deeper into the Champions League also, they're gonna see exactly what they can deal with, just like you said, the travel, the intensity, and then come back home and play. Right? Because once again, it's the same Liverpool that Klopp has. In a different team. So I think they had this person, so you can see exactly as the season. But in terms of City, and City is good at chasing, but I tell you right now, I'm not sure if they're the same City. They are they're wobbling right now, and this is the best chance for Arsenal and Liverpool to actually take over and try and beat them to the championship. This is the best chance that I think that they've had. Both these two teams have had in the last couple of years to actually beat City. Even the year when City was behind by 8 points and they couldn't get it right. It wasn't an injury issue. It was something they just needed to fix. And as soon as they fixed that, they went on a crazy tear and just overrun everybody. So, but right now they're wobbling, and it's an injury issue, a personal issue, and in some cases, I think it might be just an age issue and the fact that maybe the coach is not going to be there next year. I don't think he's going to be there next year. But yeah, so this is actually the best chance for Arsenal to actually try and contend for the championship.
But you know, I would tell you last year was the best year for you guys to win it too. Year before that was the best year for you guys to win it too. Okay,
Yeah,
I
last
didn't
year
hear
we fought and then
you.
we
You
fought
see, the
we
thing is,
fought it in some areas we shouldn't have fought it in. That's true.
I told you, right? Arsenal's problem is not them, you know. Well, yeah, because it's a mental thing. Because when you break them, that is it. And when you look at that, right, those guys are still young too, you know. Those guys are real young.
We're still a very young team,
And
yeah.
yeah,
We're still a very young team
because
from the front to the back, yeah.
I will go back to the days when Arsenal were a force, right? You have Patrick Vieira. He was a leader. He's the person, look, I'm going to take this team on my
Hmm.
shoulders. I will do what I have to do, right? And he had guys around him
Hmm.
who would do the job. This present Arsenal team, to me, who is your leader? You don't have a Tony Adams anymore. You don't have a Patrick Vieira anymore. Who you
No,
got?
they say actually things actually who actually leads the team. Brendan, he has a lot of respect. Oh, the guard. He's actually the one who leads the team. He's not the lead in terms of aggression or an enforcer because Vieira was the leader and he was aggressive and he was an enforcer. And the way he played was just perfect for him to lead. To tell the truth. But Odegaard is set to actually be the leader. But eventually we develop, like I said, it's a young team. And the challenge is the fact that we're challenging for the title and it's still a
Mhm.
young team, bodes good for the future. Same thing I say with Chelsea. Chelsea is a young team and they come in good, even though it's not expected of them. It's still a very, very young team. And I see them doing the same thing like what Arsenal is doing, especially with Maresca now, pushing them to become better. I think they'll be just as the same spot as Arsenal in the next year or two. Right? I think they get in there. Right? But for us right now, Sunday's the thing.
When he's stuck. Yeah, he was stuck at the right. So that's Carlos. You were right. You just stuck that bit just now, Carlos. Um, I this
Sorry.
Premiership, this 10 games now. This going in this season's 11 games now, ain't it?
Mhm.
I think it's going 11 games. And it's almost a third of the season going already, and you're seeing Nottingham Forest up there. They're like third or fourth. Yeah. But
I think
I expect
third.
there's certain, yeah. I expect when you see December comes in and the games get thick and fast because their squad depth is not really all that. Because you remember back in the day, in the early days of the Premiership, you would find fellas like Hull, Bolton, and the fellas in the top four, and then you see when the other months come in, it tapers off and they disappear, right?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Um, right, the Ballon d'Or took place, and Roger won the award, as we know. Real Madrid decided they stay away because of disrespect. You think Real Madrid just throwing their toys out the pram, or you think their claim was justified?
The thing about it is that they have a good claim, but not that 10-day award is childish, as far as I'm concerned. It's difficult to see. Okay, if you're not, it's difficult to see how Rodri would win it. Yes, he won the European Championship. Yeah, um, and his play overall, of course, is stellar, especially in Man City. But in terms of overall achievement and how key they are to the team, you can actually see Vinny being more of that for Real Madrid because they won La Liga, didn't they?
Yeah,
And they won the Champions League,
Champions
and he
League.
was key in every aspect of um, those achievements, right? No, it's always difficult. That's why the Ballon d'Or almost always go to attacking players because you can always see the results of their play, their contribution. Giving it to a midfielder, especially a defensive midfielder, most people look at that and say, how exactly he contributed that kind of thing. But if you know football to the point, you will say, yeah, that's the case. You understand? Because I
Mhm.
remember when they gave it when Henri had such a really good spell, and they gave it to Nedved. They gave it to Nedved, and I could see how they could have given it to Nedved to tell the truth. But to me, Henri more deserved it. But um, boycotting the Ballon d'Or because you think your player should have won it is just childish, ridiculous.
I don't really.
Because there are
I
times when they had.
understand your. Uh, I don't really go into these whole awards things, because you will find that, all right, when movies, for example, some of the best movies we have seen have never won awards, but they made money, right?
That is true.
Um,
That is true.
and when you vote, and another thing with the Ballon d'Or too, right? When you voting, you're gonna vote for who you like. If Carlos get nominated for Ballon d'Or, I'm gonna stuff the boxes so you could get it. If you see where you're coming from, the year that there's some years that Cristiano Ronaldo won, he shouldn't have won. There are years that Messi won, and he
And there's
shouldn't
some
have
his
won.
Messi won, he should have won. He should have been
Correct?
nominated.
Yeah.
But
So that's the thing
yeah,
with
I get you.
awards, right? Awards, you pick who you like. So my thing is, win a title, win a trophy, whatever. I'll call it a day. Um, I don't know. I just because they're, as you say, I think it's more like they're throwing their toys out the pram because they didn't get what they want. That's all it is. Rodri had a fantastic year,
That's basically what it was.
right? But the
Yeah,
thing is, no, you gotta wait and
that
see,
was ridiculous.
how City handles their thing with it, because everything he is the real call. He was the anchor in their midfield, right? So it'd be interesting to see how City copes with it. Like De Bruyne. De Bruyne is one of the best midfielders to me that I got knocking around the place. How come he never get nominated for a Ballon d'Or because he injured too regular, right?
That could be it too. But you see, just like you said about awards, right? It's
Uh,
whatever criteria you vote for who you like. Yeah, that's
all right,
basically what it
but
is. But boycotting it is childish, though, regardless.
yeah, right. So we started off football, the funny sport, but now we're here. I guess you could talk a little bit about local Prime Minister's Cup. Um, but let me bring up the results here down here. So I think we are in the. I don't want to tell lies on it. Just give me. Let me just pull it. I should have pulled it up earlier. The Prime Minister's Cup. Let me go on their page here and look and see what's up with that. Just give me a sec. In the meantime, you guys could. Oh, someone dropped out there. Oh, you still there? Something happened there just
Yeah.
now. What was it? Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking in the meantime. I'm looking for the results of Prime Minister's Cup thus far. Get a little taste because that's one the that tournament is getting interesting. Okay, we have our guesses here. Before we get to that, one of the features we're looking to introduce on the Shins Boot Show is to give you health tips, and as part of that, as you know, part health is our part of our everyday life. So joining us, I'll give her move often, be healthy, age well. Those are three phases essential to everyday life. And it's slogan of our very special guest, Dr. Vicky Esser, or her professional title, Dr. Vicky, the Exercise Doctor. Dr. Vicky, welcome. How are you doing? She's here with a beautiful smile and
I
all.
am I am
You're
doing fine, thanks. How are you guys doing this evening?
I'm good. I like
Very good,
RPB.
doctor.
I like RPB. I holding on. All right. Tell us about Doctor. Give us a little background on Doctor Vicky.
All right, sure. So I am a general practitioner and a special populations exercise trainer. I work with people who have chronic diseases or uh the elderly. I kind of work with everybody, but more than just aesthetics. I'm working with them for exercise for wellness and general overall well being, as well as treating their chronic diseases.
Okay. Carlos, you're on. Carlos, they're looking. Carlos look kind of lost though. Carlos, you there? Yeah, you. Got something to say? You got a question to ask? No?
Yeah, I'm still here, and if I'm picked,
I think there's a slight delay. That's why.
well, yeah, there is definitely delay with us right here.
Yeah, there's a delay.
Um, okay, so um, how would you gauge a program for somebody like me or a teenager or somebody middle-aged citizen?
Well, everybody in different age categories,
Can
depending
you
on
guys
their
hear me?
level of activity. Huh?
Yeah, you got a slight little delay with the phone. That's why. Yeah, he was asking how would you gauge a program for say someone like him or a person who's middle aged or senior citizen. And Vicky stuck again. Well, you got some little internet issues here though. All right, Vicky just stuck there. Let me find out here what happened. Okay, just give me a sec. All right, since she lost connection, Carla, see that you stuck too. Okay, so I'm here all alone. Right, so one of the features I said we want to do, we want to introduce something different to the Shins and Boot show, as we usually like to. Few technical difficulties there. We get those resolved as soon as possible. Uh, right, I was saying that one of the features we want to bring on the show is health tips. And Dr. Vicky will be doing that. And when she comes back, essentially give you a rundown of how how things work, how the whole exercise her program works. But in the meantime, what I'll do, I talk about the Prime Minister's cut. Carlos and I have talked about that a little bit. I'm going on the trying to go on the page here right now. Prime Minister's cut. We had, or Carlos is back. Dr. Vicky's back too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we had some gremlin. We got it seems we got gremlins tonight or something. Um,
Yeah.
right. Carlos was asking earlier, how would you gauge a program safe for a teenager and a person who's middle aged?
Right, so people in different age brackets require different foci. It also depends on their activities of daily living. So a teenager that is, say, an athlete, may have different goals from a teenager who, say, has type 1 diabetes or the average teenager. So usually in that younger stage of life, you're looking at muscle development, skill development, uh, habit formation, that kind of stuff. For someone who is middle age, you're now thinking of getting older, function, making sure that you still have lean muscle mass, making sure that you're still able to do the things that you want to do on a day to day basis. Uh, just making sure that you stay independent and you stave off any chronic diseases or manage them properly if you already have them.
Okay. Um, Something I was curious about. I usually walk my dog every day. Would you say that was a bit of an Vicky starts to smile when I mention dog? Yeah, it's one of the things I realized about Vicky, a dog lover. I usually walk my dog every day. Would you say that's a good form of exercise also?
Of course.
For the dog
What
on
would be both?
okay.
Actually, the dogs also need exercise. So for people who have dogs, don't just keep them in the yard. Take them on walks. It's good for them as well.
Okay.
But definitely, walking is a great exercise. Now, when you're walking for exercise, we want to have a quicker pace. Of course, one that you can manage. A moderate pace means that you're not able to speak a full sentence. You may have to take a breath between every few phrases, not until you're entirely out of breath and can't breathe. But, sometimes I see people carrying on a regular conversation while they're walking. And while it's nice to have company, that's not really increasing your heart rate, and getting your heart, stronger. So we want to make sure if you're walking, even if you're walking the dog, I'm sure the dog would appreciate a little trot, going at a little faster pace, definitely to improve your cardiovascular health.
The one I have is a bit of a beast. He walks me. I don't walk him. It's easier when you have four legs. It's easier when you have four legs. I only got two, so you're gonna go as fast as he can.
Yeah.
Um, we've heard for a very long time that maintaining a healthy lifestyle is very expensive.
hmm
Now, what alternatives do you suggest?
Well, a healthy lifestyle is a broad thing, but there are some changes that can be made without a high thing. Yuki, that's why
You
not.
got
Oh,
some,
thank you for the loud
you
noise.
got, you got some sound effects, man.
But starting with the eating, people like to cut out everything. I would say start with adding things that are healthier. So we're adding things like, um, I think I saw kale in one supermarket that was like $5 a bag. Uh, you can add, you don't have to go for the expensive, organic, imported stuff. Literally going to the market and getting $10 in like a few tomatoes and lettuce or something is a good way to start. Uh, in terms of keeping active, even if you're not, even if from inside your house, walking up and down the corridor, going up and down the stairs,
You get me?
doing sitting and standing during commercials if you're watching TV. So every time a commercial comes on, you sit and stand, and you'll realize how active you can get just doing those things.
Okay. Carl's looking real serious. So you will hire her to you will hire her as a fitness coach for Arsenal, Carlos? Carlos like he going to sleep. Okay. Now we live in a society that includes you will hire her to work with Arsenal.
Yeah, why not? Like we need
Why
it, no?
not? Well, you better talk
Absolutely.
dollars, you better talk pounds, and a good fitness regime. Now we live in a society
Yeah,
that,
like we need it too.
yeah. Now talking about sports and so on, I guess you've had football and stuff for some of your clients. So how do you go around doing a fitness regime for say like an athlete, a young athlete, so like under 17?
Under 17,
Yeah.
I don't usually work with athletes that young,
Okay.
but I do have one who's in her 20s. Uh, so for her, the big thing is injury prevention.
Mm,
So you work a lot on strength, flexibility, mobility, uh, practicing movements that she would have to do for her sport, which is volleyball. So things like getting into a low Cossack squat. So that's where you're squatting over to one side, to do a dig. Uh, ankle mobility, knee health for sure. Volleyballers do a lot of jumping. So it's a lot of our work is prehabilitative work where we're working a lot on the mobility, strength, and flexibility so that she can, play to the best of her ability and remain as injury free as possible.
okay. Now you know you live in a society now that includes stress and mental health. Would you say exercise is part of relieving that stress?
Yes, actually, exercise is part of the management of mood disorders, so like depression and anxiety. Exercise literally has an antidepressive effect.
Mm,
So you would have that short term. So immediately after exercise, you have some the short term feel good hormones. So you actually feel better after exercise. And then over the long term, it improves your mood as well.
okay.
So for sure, I would say for mental health, exercise is extremely important.
Okay. Now, health wise, what are some of the problems health wise in our in the society on a whole?
We hear a lot about NCDs, non-communicable diseases,
Mm,
and I'm not sure if we are realizing how serious of a problem it is.
mm,
You hear people saying, well, everybody in my family got high sugar, so I know I will got it too.
mm,
It doesn't have to be that way, because type 2 diabetes is a lifestyle disease. Yes, family history can play a factor, but it's really mostly to do with lifestyle. Another thing people would say is that, you got dead sometime.
mm.
I'm sure
Yeah,
we've heard that before.
a lot.
But again, it's about quality of life. Do you want to spend the last 10 years, on dialysis or, with an amputation or, in and out of hospital? Or do you want to spend your last 10 years able bodied, still cooking for yourself, taking care of the family, or spending time with the grandchildren? You know, it is about your quality of life. And something that we're not paying attention to outside of the NCDs really is just, as I said, general quality of life. You see that they're building a new a new geriatric hospital to hold all the people that are going into the geriatric hospitals because we're just not aging as well as we should be.
Shit, yeah.
So medicine has done a lot to extend life, but we definitely need to do more to improve the quality of that extended life.
So we want to talk. We want to contact Dr. Vicky on social media. How do we do that?
All right, so I am on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, YouTube,
All over the
Dr.
place.
Vixter. So that's DRVICKSTER 246. If you search for that, even if you Google that, my Instagram, my Facebook pages for sure will come up. YouTube will come up. I've recently been bullied into going on TikTok.
You
So
don't see too happy about that one, do you? I see the
I'm on
roll
there
of the.
too.
I see the little roll of the eyes there. You don't like TikTok too much, do you?
There's a lot of different socials to keep up with. By the time I'm done training, I really don't keep up with them very well, but I do
Yeah, you are.
respond to messages and queries. So definitely send me a message. And you can also WhatsApp me 246 847 1667. Uh, so 246 847 1667. You can WhatsApp me as well.
Right. Now you're here. I'm going to throw in the lions den a bit here. You're going to be here every month.
Sure.
So tell us what you're about to do for our adoring public.
All right. So coming up, I actually have a three-part series with the community development department. We're talking about middle age. And I know as soon as I say middle age, people go straight to menopause. However, this three-part series is actually starting with a talk for the men and what men go through in middle age. So that's going to be on Saturday, the 9th, I believe that is. Saturday the 9th at 5 p.m. at St. Mark's Resource Center. That's in St. Philip, St. Farlip to some people. uh, but the St. Mark's Resource Center, that's where we'll be. And we're doing, as I said, a three-part series on middle age, the changes and the challenges that we go through in middle age. As I said, we're starting with the men, and then we are going to talk about menopause, and then we are going to talk about the other changes that happen in middle age for women as well. I'm encouraging everyone to attend all three of them because we need to understand what's happening with our friends, our partners, our family members, the people around us. Try to understand what's happening from their point of view as well. So I would encourage everyone to come out to it's going to be 3 Saturdays in a row, 5 p.m. to 7:30 for all 3 Saturdays. St. Mark's Resource Center.
All right. Another question I have to ask you. You know, everyone, is it going to be via Zoom or anything, or you have to be there in person?
I believe it's only in person.
Oh, you believe. Okay. So, like me, you know, when they get a certain age, in my day, we used to have horse and buggy. I'm Anyway, Dr. Vicky, pleasure having you. Of course, you'll be back here next month to give us a health tip of sorts. And I
hmm
believe there's something attached to that health tip. You care to tell us about that, or you're not going to talk about that just yet?
I will talk about it so that people could do their research. So on
Great.
our next show, I'll be giving away one of the t-shirts. My trainer sucks is my is my line because my clients love to tell me how terrible I am, and yet they keep coming back. So I guess I'm not that terrible. So my trainer sucks is the page actually. If you can check on Instagram as well, and I'm not going to say what the. Well, actually, I will say the question. So on the next show, we're gonna talk about the difference between physical activity and exercise. And if someone can tell me that, the first person to tell me that will be able to get one of your shirts. So
There you go.
keep that
I
question in
guess.
mind, the difference
So
between exercise and physical activity.
am I eligible to enter this contest or I'm not eligible?
No, you're not eligible. Come
Darn. Just so I was going to get a t-shirt. And Christian Carlos.
on.
Is Carlos eligible or not him either? You gonna make, he's not eligible either? No? Nah, you take too long to answer that one.
Yeah.
That sounds like a no. And she does a one man shot, and she comes up. Anyhow. So Dr. Vicky, pleasure having you on, and we will see you next month. Of course, 2 minutes with Dr. Vicky is the name of the feature. In case you are curious, sometimes she talks over 2 minutes, so that was just the name of the thing. 2 minutes with Dr. Vicky. So I would thank you for look forward to you coming back again, and I would like to thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule. And you could go and rest after making people
It's
tell
very
me your dream.
informative, Doc.
Say again? That what? What that Carlos was saying?
I would
Yeah,
say it's
very,
very informative.
yeah,
Excellent.
very informative, right?
Thank you.
Um,
That's what I aim to do, inform people.
and she does it very well. Trust me, I've worked with her before. So we're looking forward to seeing you again. And you have a good night. You're gonna get some rest because I guess some people must be cussing you. You get ready to make them say your trainer sucks again, right?
Well, I actually have an online client now, so yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Wow.
Vicky, you have a good one, and you have a good night, and we shall see you again. I'll be in
All
touch.
right, no problem.
Okay. All
Thanks,
right.
Kevin. See you, Carlos.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Right, Carlos. So you got the. That was Dr. Vicky. So she'll be back next month with 2 minutes with Dr. Vicky, and she'll be having a giveaway. Carlos and I can't take part. We're not even eligible. You imagine that? Darn. Anyway. Now, before we go and talk a little bit
Yeah.
about Prime Minister's, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the Prime Minister's cut. I have some results in front of me here. Wharton and UE, your team, they played a 1-all draw, and they won UE won 4-2 on penalties. Paradise, they lost to Kickstart Rush. 2 goals to Paradise lost to Kickstart Rush 2-1. I can't remember who's coming up on Sunday. Let me look and see. Sunday is what day of the game? The 10th? The
Okay.
10th, right? It's
Yeah.
Sunday, right. We got British Hill playing at 6 o'clock. British Hill playing Notre Dame SC. And Weymouth Wales, the heavy favorites, they are playing Ellerton FC. You can find your way
Okay.
down to Friendship Ground. The game starts at the
Friendship.
first game is 6. Yeah. First game starts at 6, which is Burton Hill versus Notre Dame, and the nightcap game at 8:30 p.m. is Ellerton versus Weymouth Wales. So we had the discussion just before we came. We are looking to go to the finals, so we can look for that on the 30th of November at Kensington and Oval. That will be the final. So whoever is there, Carlos and I, Goswin, are looking to be there too. We're gonna do something for them there. So before we leave, Carlos, any famous last words before we call it a night?
I just want to tell you, the next time we come on air, I'll apologize for what's about to happen to you on Sunday. Um, we mean it. We didn't mean it, but we do mean
Oh,
it. Chelsea.
uh, I know, catching on. Well, I'm not one of these people that I don't know I'm gonna get flustered and if they get beaten because I've been following the team since 1971. So I've seen relegation, I've seen all sorts, and I've been
You've
there,
seen everything.
so seen everything. And I'm a solid person too. I don't really take football that seriously. Like, I'm not one of these fans that can cuss and get on by to get beat because I look at it this way: at the end of the day, those boys can get paid. That's how you look at it. But I guess too is because
No,
I don't really,
it's full
yeah,
entertainment for me anyway. So yeah,
it's
it's
like
entertainment.
wrestling. I love. I tell people one of the other sports. Like, well, I can't really call it sports wrestling, and I like it because I know it isn't real, but the way these guys sell the thing is like you
Yeah,
gotta be kidding me, right? So I was saying, well,
it's
you
quite
gave me, you
entertaining.
gave me a you gave me your
Yeah.
apology already, and the game hasn't even started yet. So what happens now if Chelsea beat Arsenal? What happens then? Do I apologize? Do I apologize to you for beating you? Do I? Nah, I wouldn't. Don't even go there.
No, I'll apologize to everybody else for saying that. Anyway, I just want everybody to go and support the Prime Minister's Cup. I think it's actually a good tournament.
Yeah.
In terms of the profile of football and stuff. I think that's actually a really good idea. I hope everybody enjoy the rest of the evening
Right.
and enjoy the weekend coming up.
Right. So with that, we're like last year. We're out of here. Special thanks to the Sports BB,
Well,
Dr. Vicky for being with us, and you for being part of the show. So we'll be back in December. We have the primary, right after the Prime Minister Scott Carlos and I will probably be, well, we'll talk about it. God's willing, we'll be there. I'm looking to bring Omari back. Omari East, I'm looking to bring him back. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, pleasure being here. You have a good night, and thank you all for joining us. So with that, we're out. And it's a wrap.